Happy Transformation of the Mind Tuesday, everybody. It's your girl, Unapologetic Happiness here. And today's my Transformation of the Mind challenge to everyone out there. This week, I want to challenge you guys to step out of just merely surviving in the storm to full-on thriving in the storm. I know that right now things may seem really strange and we might be thinking like this is not the time to be hopeful. This is not the time to think creatively. This is not the time to start new. This is not the time to do all of those things that we're so afraid of doing, even on a normal basis when things are in its normal order, right? But I want to encourage you today to know that this is still the most amazing moment in your life. There is still room and opportunity to be hopeful, to be creative, to step into the newness of the life that we are being blessed with daily. When I first got started with my blog site and, I decided that I was going to go back to writing like I initially dreamed of as a kid, I gave myself all of the most difficult reasons, valid reasoning and excuses as to why it was going to be merely impossible for me to start where I was with what I had. I was a new mother. My daughter was about 6 months old at the time. I was unemployed. My husband was the only one working. So therefore, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I got to go back to school, which I don't want to do because I don't want to have student loans. I just refused. That was something I was always, against. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe this is not going to work. Who's going to want to read what I have to say if I don't have, a college degree or a title listed behind it? And it's amazing when we think about how we disqualify ourselves before we even think to say that I have this gift for a reason. So all of those external factors that may be important in some areas and in some places, it's really not that important. What I needed was the drive, faith, and action. So once I shifted my perspective and my thoughts around how I was going to make it happen, instead of thinking about the how, I decided to make it happen. I started my blog site on Google, free 99, no money, right? When I decided that, this was what I was going to do, I did 3 things. I committed, I remained consistent, and I committed to working on myself, my mental, my health, my body, my spiritual, every single area in my life. I know that I needed to grow, because in order for me to excel, I needed to make sure that I was showing up in one area of my life the same way I was showing up in the next, because I did not want the imbalance or the lack of attention in a certain area of my life to start flowing over into the area that I am doing so well in. And that's the thing that we have to be careful with. We want to thrive in life. We don't want to just be surviving or sticking to the things that, we have mastered and that's easy. No, we have to master self. We have to begin to master ourselves. And like I said, in this time, we may feel like there's no reason to hope and there's no reasoning to do anything. There's so much we can do at this time because, for one, we do not have the distractions of our normal everyday life desires. Right now, our options are limited and few. So what that means is you can either choose to be sunken or angry or feeling depressed about the limited and few options that we have, or you can take that as an opportunity, see it as a blessing to say, okay, I know that there's things that's been in my heart, in the back of my mind that I wanted to do, but I just never had the time. I never could really just sit and focus. I never could really clear my mind long enough and be still long enough to really, really see the picture, think it through, plan, and execute. So right now is that moment. And I'm not saying you have to go spend $1 million to do anything, because right now we understand that that's not really ideal for anyone to do in this moment. But there's so much you can do with a pen and paper. There's so much research you can do with the internet that's free. You already pay for that in your bills on a day-to-day basis. Start utilizing what you have right now in your access to get what you need to get and to get where you're going. Because we can't sit around praying and hoping, when is this going to end? I can't wait for this to be over. Instead, we got to say, okay, this may not be the norm that I'm used to. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it work for my benefit. I'll use this as my demo. my practice realm. For when life gets back up and going, I have mastered consistency. I have mastered all of the important skills that I need to balance life happening and the creative process that I'm willing to go through, the growth process that I'm willing to take, the change that I'm willing to see manifest in my life, the value that I'm willing to add into the world daily. This is that time for me to practice. That saying has never been more true. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I believe that if you believe and you trust in God with your whole heart, then you know that everything that appears to be impossible is possible with Him. So pray about it. Then commit your plans unto Him. Think about it. Meditate on it daily. And each day, just take little steps to get there. Don't try to take on each and every suggestion and idea that you see or you hear or you're being told. Think about you, who you are, what can you handle, what measures are you willing to push yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice, how are you willing to show up differently, how are you willing to just do something. You owe it to yourself. You deserve to thrive in life. You deserve to start living a life that grants you fulfillment, a life that makes you feel worthy of celebrating each and every day, just the small wins. It's not about the clothes that we buy or the shoes that we wear. Those are temporary satisfaction and sometimes distractions. But we want what we want and we like what we like. But in this moment, I just really encourage you to just really get radical about your life. Get serious. Get intentional about being with intent and purpose each and every day. No longer, I want you to see yourself in the mirror wherever you are out loud. No longer am I settling for just enough. No longer do I want to just continue to live in mediocrity. No longer do I want to continue to seek security that's not even real security, because in a time like this, I pray that everyone's vision and sight has been opened and awakened to recognize that the jobs that we feel so secured in, they're not that secured, because the moment you turn around the blink of an eye, you could be laid off, told to stay home, closed down, and you're out of a job. You're out of options. Risks in life provides us with more security than the comfort and settling that we choose to do merely. Now, I'm not saying give up on, your stability and the things that you already have in place. I'm simply saying don't settle. Do what you have to do right now, but also make sure that you're working on the things that are going to benefit you in the future, but still remaining present in the now to experience your growth, to experience your mindset shifting, to experience life and still have an attitude of gratitude, still feeling empowered. We're going to have rough moments. We're going to have highs. We're going to have lows, and that's okay. Love yourself enough to never give up. We have choices in life always. We can quit. We can win. We can keep trying. We can give up. We can roll over and die. We can get up and stand up and live each day with excitement, purpose, enthusiasm, and passion for the gifts that are at our fingertips. We probably don't realize it, but they're there. I believe that each and every one of us have a creative power within us, and I pray that we all during this time are able to access that and tap into that and activate it. I love you guys. Have a blessed and beautiful Tuesday on purpose. Transform your mind, transform your heart, transform your body, transform your soul. I love you guys. Mwah.